Good afternoon and welcome to Icu Tv Lunchtime News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Government commissions new infrastructure at Lavushi Manda National Park. Free education now a legal right in Zambia. Zambia and Tanzania agree to boost cross-border trade. In international news, US-Iran ceasefire still in place after exchange of fire in Strait of Hormuz. And in sports news, English clubs reach all three European finals for the first time. With the news in detail, my name is Chipotike Piri. Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba has commissioned new infrastructure and equipment at Lavushi Manda National Park under the Transforming Landscapes for the Resilience and Development Project. The minister's speech, delivered by Mochinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Brian Sichanda, said the development is part of government's efforts to improve tourism sites, increase accessibility, and attract investment in protected areas. The project includes the construction of staff houses, a control room, a park entry gate, water systems, and rehabilitation works, along with new equipment to support wildlife protection and park operators. Government says the initiative will improve conservation, strengthen law enforcement, and promote tourism development, contributing to economic growth and community livelihoods. President Hakainde Hichilema has assented to the Education Amendment Act 2026, making free education a legal right from early childhood through to secondary school in all public institutions, in a move aimed at expanding access to learning across the country.
President Hakainde Hichilema has signed the Education Amendment Bill into law.
So when we say free education is removal of exam fees, is desks, it's classroom space, it's more teachers, it's the health learners, it's the school feeding program. All of this is a package.
Making free education a largely binding right for every Zambian child, from early childhood education all the way through secondary school in public institutions. What began as a bold policy commitment is now a permanent fixture of this country's legal framework. No future government can simply remove it. No budget cycle can quietly reverse it. It is law. This matters because policies come and go, laws endure. President Hakainde Hichilema himself went through public education right here. He benefited from bursaries. He knows what access to education means for a child who would otherwise have no pathway out of poverty.
Oh, proper planning and hard work. That's what you see. And this policy, coupled with city kids now and boarding school, even when parents can't afford. This is a package. It's a package of measures, a myriad of measures. I think about the school feeding program across all the 116 districts. I want to encourage young people, don't listen to polluted brains. Do not spoil our children. Allow our children to love each other, to support each other, to care for each other. And then the country will be better place.
When he signed this bill, he was not simply fulfilling a manifesto promise, not at all. He was making a decision that will outlast his own time in office and protect millions of children who will never know his name, but will benefit from what he chose to do. The results of this policy, even before it became law, are extraordinary. Since its rollout in 2022, over 2.5 million children have returned to or entered school for the first time. These are children whose families could not afford fees, uniforms, or examination costs. They are now in classrooms, and in 2025, Zambia recorded a 70.26% grade 12 school certificates pass rate, the highest in the nation's history, up from 68.19% the previous year. That milestone did not happen by accident.
Zambia and Tanzania have concluded the 5th Joint Trade Committee meeting held at the Tunduma one-stop border post, agreeing on measures to improve cross-border trade. The meeting reviewed progress on past commitments and focused on strengthening trade, investment, and regional integration between the two countries. Both sides agreed to improve operations at the Nakonde Tunduma one-stop border post and remove key non-tariff barriers affecting transporters and traders. The new measures are expected to lower business costs, improve efficiency, and create more opportunities for cross-border trade and economic growth. We now take a break. Coming up in international and sports news. US-Iran ceasefire still in place after exchange of fire in Strait of Hormuz. English clubs reach all three European finals for the first time.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Thank you for staying with us. US President Donald Trump says a ceasefire is still in place between the US and Iran after both sides exchanged fire late of Thursday night. It was unclear who fired first. Iran's top military command alleged the US had targeted an Iranian oil tanker and another vessel approaching the Strait of Hormuz and carried out aerial attacks on several coastal areas. The US, meanwhile, said it responded to Iranian attacks on US Navy-guided missile destroyers in the Strait with self-defense strikes. The flare-up comes a day after Iran's foreign ministry had said it was considering a US proposal to end the war. We take a short break. Stay tuned for sports news. Welcome back. English teams have reached the finals of three different European competitions in the same season for the first time. After Arsenal sealed their place in the final of the Champions League with a 2-1 aggregate victory against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, Aston Villa and Crystal Palace followed suit in their respective competitions later in the week. Unai Emery's Villa side overturned a 1-0 first leg defeat to Thrush Forest 4-1 on aggregate on Thursday and set up Europa League final meeting with Bundesliga side Freiburg in Istanbul on 20th May. And simultaneous to Villa's triumph, Crystal Palace followed up to a 3-1 victory against Shakhtar Donetsk 7 days ago with a 2-1 win against the Ukrainian side at the Selhurst Park in the second leg. They will face Rayo Vallecano in the final of the conference leg on 27th May. That sports item brings us to the end of the lunchtime news, but before we go, a quick recap of the stories making headlines. Government commissions new infrastructure at Lavushi Manda National Park. Free education now a legal right in Zambia. Zambia and Tanzania agree to boost cross-border trade. And in international news, US-Iran ceasefire still in place after exchange of fire in Strait of Hormuz. In sports news, English clubs reach all 3 European finals for the first time. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, do watch our main news at 20 hours.